Hello, my name is Roman Mironov. Welcome to this video about 3 new functions in OmegaT 3.1. The first one is the custom sorting order of the project files window. Whereas previously the order of the files in the project files window was alphabetical only, you can now sort them manually or automatically. To sort automatically, you can click the heading of a column. But what's even more useful, you can sort them manually. For example, in this case I have a user manual to translate, and it has 5 files to translate, and as you see, they appear in OmegaT in the wrong sequence. So I want to change the sequence manually. To change the order, I will use the buttons on the right. So I want preface to be the first one, so I put it move first. Then goes introduction. Then I want to put installation, so I use move up. Then goes operation, and then goes troubleshooting. So this is the sequence that I want to have in my project. I want the files to go in that sequence in my project so that it is easier for me to translate them. As soon as I close this window, OmegaT creates a project called Files Order in the OmegaT subfolder of the project. And this file is a simple text file that lists the order of the files. Finally, this window has a new column, number of unique segments. This is how it looked in the previous version. So, no column. And this is the new version, so we have the number of unique segments column added. The second feature is the number of files that now displays in the statistics window. Now the statistics has this additional column which says number of files. From this column I gather that there are a total of 5 files, but what's interesting, there's only one file where unique segments are. So this means that all unique segments are concentrated in this one file, whereas the remaining 4 files have only repeated segments. Okay, I added more files to the project in order to show you another example of statistics. And by the way, as you see, the 3 files that I added display at the bottom of the list. So those files that I put manually in order and that were saved to the files order text file are at the top. So the new files are added at the bottom regardless of the name of the file. Alright, so I now have a total of 8 files. The text to translate is in all 8 files. That means that I still have to translate all 8 of the files. Again, the unique segments are only in 3 of the files. That means that 5 other files are basically repeated text. And also remaining unique segments are found in 3 of those files, so I still need to translate 3 files out of those 3 that have unique segments. And this statistics is, by the way, provided by Statistics plugin written by Uton. So it's not the default statistics, but the statistics provided by the plugin, so it is more visual. But of course you get this column just as all other columns in default statistics as well. And now the final feature I want to cover is the changes to glossary path and name. In previous versions, OmegaT automatically assumed that the file, the glossary file, should have a name like this. So project name, and dash glossary txt. And this is one of the previous versions. However, when I open this same project in the version 3.1, the name is simply glossary txt, so without the project name. If a file under such name already exists in the glossary folder, OmegaT will use it by default. Note though that this only applies when the glossary folder is within the project folder, like in my case. So this is the name of the project, and this is the glossary folder within it. And of course the glossary txt file in it. If I move the glossary folder outside of the project, the OmegaT will use the old name. Here's an example. I will now change the glossary folder by moving it outside of the project. So I'm going to use this folder that is located outside of the project, and as soon as I do this, as you see, the name changes automatically. So it now follows the old pattern. Project name dash glossary txt. And this is probably the best thing about this new feature, because it allows you to change just the glossary folder, and OmegaT will change the writable glossary file location automatically, whereas in the previous versions this required manual intervention. This is an older version where I tried to change the glossary folder without changing the writable glossary file location. As you see, they're different, and as soon as I try to load the project, OmegaT gives me an error. So this behavior was improved. The bottom line is that as long as you keep your glossary within the project folder and you keep it under the default name, you'll benefit from this change. Otherwise, you probably won't. That's it. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to this channel if you want to stay current on OmegaT features.